Ribhu Gita says the continued repetition of I am Self-Brahman constitutes the sole mantra-japa leading to liberation. So he asks, I used to do it in the past, the repetition of Guru Vachan, but now the effort has been dropped because whenever the thought arises to do it, something observes to whom the thought arises, which I normally call I or I am, and then the whole thing just drops. That something through which all this is observed, is that also a part of mind? Asking because I could clearly sense it is not a mere thought, it just always is. The other reason that there is no interest to do it is that I feel that the effort itself is a demand to know the truth, which in turn means that it is somewhere in the future, and so all this drops. Mind keeps telling me that you are not doing your sadhana or respecting your guru, and something just laughs at mind. This is so affirmative in itself, and still there is a need for approval. Is this fine, or is it just another kind of mind trap? Kindly help. Pradeep, few things must be understood. First of all, the witness cannot be witnessed. The observer that you have talked of, if he is really a mere observer, a pure observer, then he cannot be talked of. You cannot sense him. That is one thing. The other thing is that when the scriptures talk of repeating, I am Self-Brahman, they do not talk of repeating in a mere verbal way. The repetition has to be breath-like. The repetition must encompass your whole day, your entire life. That is the meaning of repetition. What does it mean to repeat, I am the Self-Brahman? It means to really live in an unfettered way. It means to be free even when surrounded by the various forces of Prakriti, by the entire world, by the daily rigors and rigmaroles of life. Then you are living as Brahm. That is the only repetition. when moment by moment, in an uninterrupted way, you are living without the usual chains of habit, sorrow, unfounded certainty, insecure suspicion. If you just make a pattern out of any repetition, whether verbal or mental, it may at best make the other patterns dormant and override them. Override them as another pattern. Even the existing patterns wouldn't have disappeared. They would have been just tricked into sleeping, and you would have created another more debilitating and pious looking pattern for yourself. You are saying that you could clearly sense that something which observes is not merely a thought, it is something that just always is. That which always is can have no beginning and no end, right? If something always is, it couldn't have begun, it couldn't have ended, which means it can have no boundaries. If it can have no boundaries, then what have you sensed? To sense something, anything, you have to be first outside the boundary of that thing. You have to be distant from that thing. The thing has to be finite and limited. If it is not finite, not limited, then you won't be able to perceive it, because all your perception is dualistic and applies only to limited objects. Then you say that there is no interest in doing it. Whatever is done by you or done out of personal interest will always anyway fall off at some point. So there is no wonder that you tried something for a while and now you do not feel interested in it. Living as Brahm is not a matter of personal interests. It is also not a matter of personal disinterest. Interests keep coming and going. Brahm does not really interfere with your interests. Your Brahm reality, your Brahm foundation is the sky in which various interests can keep coming and going. But no interest can really pertain to the truth. You can be interested about one thing or the other. You cannot really be interested about the absolute. If the absolute becomes an object of interest, then you are missing. Then you say that your mind keeps telling you that you are not doing your sadhana or respecting your guru. Guru is respected only in clarity. Guru is another name for clarity. Unless you are clear about what the Guru is saying, there is no question of any kind of respect. Blind obedience is not respect. Obedience without understanding is not respect. You must ask very persistently, do I really understand? Or am I turning the words of the Guru into something personal? Have I colored the words of the Guru with my own beliefs, interests, affiliations? Hmm? Then you have said that you still are a little doubtful and you want approval on whether it is all right to do what you are doing, or is it just another mind trap? I often say, in matters of truth, if there is suspicion, then the suspicion is well placed. If you are suspicious whether or not you are in the truth, then you are suspecting rightly. You are not in the truth. In truth, you can suspect everything. In truth, you become free to doubt, inquire, question. But in truth, you do not doubt the truth itself. However, you are free to doubt your personal truths. You are free to doubt all your images of truths. In fact, nothing powers inquiry better than the truth itself. Right doubt is powered by truth. And right doubt, powered by truth, demolishes all the false truths, all the personal truths, all the mixed truths, all the conceptual truths. So, if you're asking me, must you doubt the truth? I will say, if the truth is something or anything for you, please do doubt it. But if you are doubting and doubting fully and freely, you must know that it is only the grace of truth. Why else would one doubt? One doubts because one wants to fully be in the truth. So it is nothing but the truth that is energizing the doubt. Please be brutally honest with yourself. It is great that you are doubting yourself. In doubting yourself, you are not reducing yourself. In doubting yourself, you are only displaying that the truth is something that you can be absolute sure of. That the truth is not something that will go away if your concept of the truth is shown to be false. When you know very well that you have something that won't be reduced or taken away, then empowered by that thing, emboldened by that thing, based on the certainty of that thing, which is surely not a thing as such, now you can doubt the entire world and can be prepared to leave the entire world if it is shown to be false. You will say, that which is true is anyway with me. What will I do with duplicate things? What will I do with inauthentic stuff? You know why most people are unable to let go of stuff even though they know it to be false? You can give up the false only when you are very certainly in the truth. Only when you love the truth more than yourself, then you can give up all the falsenesses that you are attached to. Yes.